If Grace had a monetary value, certainly Michael would be very rich right about now. And I say that based on the way that he handled this embarrassing situation about being left at the altar and having his face broken by his intended wife to be.
Well, my take is, why are they showing us this again? We already know the core of what happened. She said no, and he did not get married. I don't quite get why we're seeing this again.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 17, episode number 2.
Before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button and that like button so we can do better in the algorithm. And please send us your comments. And we thank you and appreciate you for your support. So you said you feel bad for
I
him?
just feel bad for this brother, man. I mean, he was publicly humiliated and handled it with grace and dignity, despite, despite the mishandling of the situation by his intended wife to be. And, there were aspects of it which I'm sure we'll get into that just left me with a bad feeling. I'm feeling kind of a certain kind of way with this.
Well, one thing we got wrong is we thought that Michael um brought the crown
Yeah,
and
he
the
made the
sword.
decision to wear that
But did no one? It's the girl that gave him that, and she set him up in my
as a
mind.
gift.
Did he not see what he looked like with that thing and the sword?
Yeah, it didn't go over well as far as I'm concerned in terms of his overall appearance, especially to those of in attendance.
If she felt that way because they were standing at the altar for a while,
Mhm.
that she could have called him out of the room and tell him privately how she was feeling and that she had changed her mind. But she
Instead
didn't
of
do that.
right, instead of walking down the aisle, making this scene, and having her identity, kept the
Well, that was after the
secret.
fact.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just mishandled from my end by her.
She leaves a letter for him to read,
Hmm.
telling him that he was kind, accepting what she said.
And that he's an amazing guy.
She could be right about that.
Yeah, she sees him react, but at the same time, that just comes out across to me as something that she feels like he
Jealous.
has to say exactly.
Mm.
She's got to give him his props for handling the fact that he just broke his face, you know, without being indignant or something like
And
that.
again, they didn't show her or her family, so I know for sure the lawyers got
Had something
into
to do
it
with that.
because typically for reality shows, once they film something, it's the possession of the production company.
Hmm.
So you have to do a whole lot to get your likeness cut out.
Yes.
She got to feel how she feels, but the way she did it, pull him aside and say, "Hey, I can't do this. I know I signed up for it and I went along like everybody else, but I'm not there. I'm nervous and this is not going to work out for me. I'm sorry."
And Michael's boys were upset too
Yeah.
for him. They had to console him
One of them said that she wasted everyone's time,
everyone's time.
but I personally don't think she wasted people's time. One way or the other, somebody was going to reject somebody at the altar. We always see this on the honeymoon. They can't stand each other, like Clinton Gina. You know, they got into it in Jamaica.
I agree because later on, I believe it was on the after. Was it the after party or
Yeah,
was
he
it
showed up at the after
right?
party and
And
he
he
said
revealed,
he was, in a better place.
yeah. But even though at the time he, began to question, whether or not marriage was for him at all.
Right. I hope that this incident doesn't um change his mindset that he can find someone and get married and be happy with them. So I hope next week they don't show this again. I think they've abused this brother enough.
Blow that he took publicly.
Hmm.
Okay,
Pretty
on what was
much.
supposed to have been, one of the happiest days of his life.
My advice to the ladies:
Okay.
if they're gonna meet with a joker at the altar and they know he's a joker and they change their mind, just try to remember the deposit.
Cool. But
So I
spouse
encourage you
commentary.
I encourage you to remember the deposit so you make a decision earlier rather than later because you know they'll haggling with you, you know, getting your full money back and you know it could be a mess. So if you decide to do that, just do it now and be done with it so you can get your deposit back and you go about your business.
With along with your coins, huh? Cool. But it seems so businesslike and transactional and impersonal. You know what I mean?
Looking out.
That's the sister safety net plan, huh?
Yeah. I think if you notice you're watching him, you sort of squinting and you're giving him the church look, and you see, oh, he ain't right. Do it now than later.
So
Be-
he ain't right, huh? Told y'all. Hardcore commentary coming right about now at y'all.
It'll be easier down the road. Have a good one. Take it or leave it. But I would think about the deposit. Do you know how much your wedding costs?
I have an idea.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
For the caterers,
Mm-hmm.
the venue,
I
the
have an idea. Mm-hmm.
flowers. There's no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You see what you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And you're happy though?
Mm-hmm. Don't got you to.